What the fuck?
What's up everyone? This time we will discuss a film called Trolls, 2022. According to fairy tales, trolls are mythological creatures created from piles of rocks and soil. In this film we will be shown, how is a troll if he appears in the real world. Without further ado, let's get right into the storyline. On a Norwegian rock mountain, a girl named Nora was seen, who was climbing a mountain with her father. Seeing the rock around them, reminded Nora's father of the tales of trolls. Long ago during a troll wedding, there were 13 trolls who got drunk until they lost track of time. Then when the sun came up and its rays hit them all, the troll froze and turned into a rocky mountain. Nora, who is now a teenager, thinks that all these stories are just fairy tales for children, until her father says, "You have to believe it to see it." When Nora began to close her eyes and look closely, that's where she saw the shapes of troll faces on the mountain.
Lyse døde de.
20 years later, at that time the government was focused on excavating Mount Dovre, to realize the construction of a new railroad. There it was seen that there were several demonstrators who disagreed, because the excavation was considered to have damaged nature. To speed up the excavation process, the workers agreed to blow up the mountain. And after the explosion this is what happened.
Okay, on the money, arbeid!
Dozens of military aircraft were immediately dispatched to inspect the situation at the location. From the inspection, found a giant footprints moving to the south. Because the situation is starting to worry, the military was forced to discuss this matter with the Prime Minister at the operational headquarters of the Norwegian Armed Forces. The Prime Minister came with his advisor named Andreas. There were also experts from various fields, including Nora who currently works as a professor of paleontology. During the meeting, the experts began speculating about the footprints they had found. But strangely none of them believed that the evidence found was footprints, because logically no creature would have such large footprints. That thought was finally refuted when they saw evidence in the form of a video recording from the cell phone of one of the demonstrators. In the video, it is clear that there is a stone monster coming out of the free mountain, and roaring like a beast. The creature they called the beast, continued to walk south and swept away every place it passed. After that, Nora and Andreas were immediately sent to investigate an area called Lesia. Nora and Andreas meet a military captain named Chris. Chris explained that he had just searched the area, and the creature's footprints stopped about 20 kilometers from the location. Then, they also interrogated an elderly couple affected by the stone monster. The husband and wife said, "That stone monster, it looks like a moving stone mountain." Apart from that, they also heard the plaintive roar of the monster. After receiving information from the couple, Nora examines the footprints of the rock monster. Unfortunately, no genetic signs were found, other than the presence of rocks and soil. This also made Nora remember the troll tales her father used to tell her. Even though Nora doesn't want to believe in children's fairy tales, all evidence seems to point to one creature, namely the troll. As a result, Nora, Andreas and Chris finally went to Nora's father's house. It's been a long time since Nora's father had a mental breakdown due to the troll research he was doing. No one ever believed in his research, so Nora's father was exiled by the state. Now finally Nora's father can prove that all his research is real. Because of that, Nora's father was finally included in the investigation mission. Until then, Nora and the others still couldn't believe everything Nora's father had said. It was hard for them to believe that trolls really existed in the real world. Nora even went so far as to argue with her father about it. Until finally they saw concrete evidence, with the wake of the troll behind them. It turned out that the troll had been there all along, and camouflaged itself as Rock Mountain. Nora and the others immediately reported this to the government. The government, of course, didn't believe it when Nora's father said that the monster was a troll. He was even considered to have gone mad and was expelled from the operational headquarters. Nora then asks the Prime Minister for a bit of time to prove her father's words. However, the Prime Minister decided to leave the case to the military. Nora's father deeply regretted the decision taken by the Prime Minister. He felt that the troll was just lonely and confused. They could have resorted to the path of violence to drive the troll away, but he was sure that nature would fight back. Hearing this, Nora finally obeyed her father's words. So they also joined the military in the attack tonight. Long story short, the attack finally started.
Mine damer og herrer.
The military started shooting at the trolls with the various weapons they had. One can see that it is all in vain, because trolls are rocks that cannot be penetrated by any weapon. After all, every attack they made only made the troll angrier. After that, the trolls countered their attacks and killed so many military troops. He even swallowed one soldier who was injured at that time. At this rate, they would all die for nothing. Nora's father was desperate to greet the troll, and tried to calm him down. But when the troll started to calm down, someone attacked him from behind so that the troll became angry and threw Nora's father away. In fact, if they didn't do anything, the trolls wouldn't actually attack them. In the seconds of her father's death, Nora also mentions the king's palace and house, all of which must be related to the troll. After her father's death, Nora believes more and more that the creatures they are facing right now are trolls, just like in the fairy tale world. If according to the world of fairy tales, then the troll will be frightened by the sound of bells. To prove this, Nora and the others launched their action by bringing several bells to approach the troll. Unexpected that their guesses actually happened. It turns out that the fairy tales told by Nora's father all this time are true stories. News of the chaos quickly spread across the country. People began to panic and urged the government to immediately solve this problem. Moreover, it was known that the troll had now started moving towards the capital. Back at operational headquarters, Nora suggests they find out more about the trolls before they take any further action. Even though Nora had proven her words, the heads of government and the Prime Minister still disagreed with Nora. They prefer to destroy the troll with a missile. Based on this decree, people in the capital were immediately evacuated to empty the operational target area. Nora and Andreas of course did not agree with that decision, because what the government was doing would only destroy the capital area. When Nora was thinking, she suddenly remembered her father's words before he died, where he mentions the king's house and palace. Unexpectedly, all of that also led to one place, namely the royal palace. There they also met a senior official named Richard Sinding. Richard's name was mentioned several times in her father's diary, so Nora thought Richard might know something about all of this. Arriving at the royal palace, Richard showed a hidden tunnel. Unexpectedly, the royal palace of Norway was built on top of the troll kingdom. For the sake of that development, they were even willing to slaughter all the troll families. Until there is only one descendant of the king, the troll, who is now raging out there. From that information, it is certain that everything Nora's father said was true. If so, then they only need one thing to stop the trolls, and that's sunlight. If pulled a glance, they had indeed seen a troll out during the day, but he had never been exposed to direct sunlight. Quickly, Nora and Andreas rush to the capital to stop the bombing. Nora also enlists the help of Captain Chris to help them, while Andreas contacts his partner to hack into the operational headquarters system. According to their plan, they managed to thwart the bombing that was going to be carried out by the government. At the same time, Nora and Andreas were seen carrying the troll's skeleton head.
Den største bukken kommer, så hvis du har tenkt å kjøre.
They then lured the troll to a location determined by Captain Chris. When they got there, Captain Chris turned on some lights which made the roll heard. Seeing that, Nora felt sorry. This was not what she wanted. He really could not bear to hear the screams of pain from the troll. Nora cried and shouted, asking the troll to leave and return to the mountain. But at that moment the sun began to rise and made the troll burn, and turned into a rocky hill. The rock hill was later named Tobias Hill, after Nora's father's name. The end. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to watch other videos. See you in the next video.